Alrighty, today we're going to start by looking at page 7, and hopefully most of page 7 you did fine. I'm just going to start the first one with you. Rachel mows 5 lawns in 8 hours. Everyone should have circled that. That's your ratio. And then at this rate, how many lawns can she mow in 40 hours? And 40 hours is our target. Your directions yesterday were to use ratio tables, so you should be using a ratio table for each of these. We have lawns and we have hours, always starting with words. 5 lawns in 8 hours. Our target is 40. And then we have to decide, what are we going to scale up or down by? Well, we can easily go from 8 to 40 by multiplying by 5. So we're scaling up by a multiple of 5. And that gives us our target of 25. And so our answer is that Rachel can mow 25 lawns, I was going to say yards, 25 lawns in 40 hours. And that's our answer. Now, I want to go over number 3 with you because number 3 is not quite so easy. The numbers are not quite so much fun. It takes Jill 2 hours to run 14 5/10 miles. There's our ratio. And then it asks, at this rate, how far could she run in 3 hours? And 3 hours is our target. Excuse me. So, as always, we start with words. And we start with the ratio that's given, 2 hours and 14.5 miles. Now, the deal here is that our goal is 3 hours. So we think to ourselves, 2 times what equals 3? You can do it, but an easier way to do this problem is to go to the unit rate first. So what I want you to do here is I want you to go to the unit rate first. So right here, we're going to go to the unit rate. We're going to figure out how far she can go in 1 mile. So to go to 1 mile, 2 to go to 1, we're going to divide by 2. And then, of course, we use the same scale factor down here. Half of 14 is 7, and half of 50 cents is 25 cents. So that's our unit rate. So we're going to learn, and this becomes very effective, and you're going to see that you're going to do this more and more, like on page 4, you're going to do this. And now we have the unit rate, and now we can go to our target. Our target is 3 hours. So 3 goes on the top because it's the hours. And now we go 1 to 3. We multiply by 3. And so then down here, we scale up by 3 as well. So we take our 7 and 25 hundredths. We multiply it by 3. And we get to our target. So this was a little bit more difficult because I want you to get to that unit rate. It's really, really important. And then, of course, we answer our question. At this rate, how far could she run in 3 hours? In 3 hours, Jill could run, if she didn't get tired apparently, could run 21 75 hundredths of a mile. Kind of squishy there, but there's our answer. Okay. So what you're going to do next is you're going to turn off this video and then you're going to correct the rest of this page. But before you turn off the video, I want you to get out your page 4. Everybody gets out their page 4. Now we skipped page 4 before because I didn't think we were really ready for it. I'm going to give you directions here. So you're going to look at these directions as you do page 4. On page 4, don't you write this down because you're going to be doing the work here. But when you're doing the work, look at this page of the video and refer back to this. In fact, I'll probably take a picture. Well, no, I won't. Just look back at this page and stop the video at this point. So number 1, I'd expect you to have a ratio table. And I'd expect you to find the unit rate. So here you're going to find unit rate first. Just like we did in number 3. Okay. Number 2, my only requirement is that you use a ratio table. If you don't need to use a unit rate, you don't have to. And that's one where you don't need to. Number 3, I want you to change it up and I want you to use a tape diagram. Perfect problem for a tape diagram. So that's how I want you to do number 3. Number 4, I want you to use a ratio table. And I want you to find the unit rate first. So again, that's like number 3 on the page that we just went over. Number 5, I want you to use a ratio table. Number 5 would be one of those ones that in my book is circled with a red, because you need to think. Think of what you can do. You don't need to use unit rate, but your ratio table should have 3 equivalent ratios on it. We'll go over number 5 tomorrow, but I want you to think and do the best that you can on 5. And same with 6. I think those of you that are going to think, I think you're going to do just fine. You're going to be able to do 5 and 6, but you need to think. So ratio table, ratio table. So when you do page 4, take this video and stop it, or right to the side of number 1, ratio table, find unit rate first, and so forth and so on. These are the directions. This is what I expect you to do on page. This is how I expect you to do page 4. Yeah, I want you actually to find the answers for all 6 problems. Okay, take your time, do it right, make sure that you, think. Always, always think. All right.